Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at what the pros are picking and what the pros are crushing with. If you're looking for some different heroes that you can pick in your pubs to absolutely stomp with, this video is for you. It's going to be a very simple format. I'll talk about how many games the hero has been picked in the recent We Play Major, what the win rate is, and why I think the hero is succeeding, and why pros are picking it. So if you're excited for today's video, and you appreciate what we do, click the like button and subscribe to the channel right now. And yeah, let's get into it. But briefly before we do, I just want to let you know about 3 website videos I just made. 3 videos I'm very proud of, and videos that will help you get to your next rank. In particular, I made an ILTW new Ursa build video. So if you're looking to play Ursa, learn some tips about the safe lane, how to become a better dead lane safe lane player. If you're confused what that even means, you should go sign up to the website, check out that video. On top of that, I made a video which is really funny. It was a great time where I watched a Herald match and did a replay analysis on that. And finally, last but not least, yes, this is all on the website, all fresh content, not going to come to YouTube. I made a Legend Luna replay analysis. So one of my students played a Luna game. I've been talking with him a lot about farming rotations, farming patterns, how to make moves around the map, how to use Ment properly and better. And that video is going to be posted to the website as well. So if you're interested in any of those videos, they're going to be there. Also, a lot of supporter content and offlane content coming as well. So go click the link down below, subscribe today. It really is worth it. And I'll see you guys there. All right, getting into the first hero, this one is a little bit niche. The reason why I say that is currently there's only 9 games played of this hero, but it's doing very well. And that is Terrorblade. Now, if you pick Terrorblade in pubs, I highly recommend only picking it as a last pick. Of course, you can win as first pick Terrorblade in pubs if you're good enough and you don't get counterpicked and you play well, okay, etc, etc. But currently, Terrorblade has 9 games played, has won 7 of those games and lost 2. That is a 78% win rate. Now, to be fair, anytime you have a low amount of games and you happen to win them, your win rate is going to seem really high. I will like to say, though, that every time I've watched this hero, whether it's played by LTW or especially RTZ, it seems to do very well as a last pick hero. When the enemy team lacks magical damage, when the enemy team does not have that burst to get through the Terrorblade, or has a physical damage offlaner such as Night Stalker, or the very popular offlaner we see a lot of right now, which is Mars, Terrorblade is actually pretty decent against these heroes. To be fair, Mars is much better than Night Stalker because you have Bulwark to deal with him. You can soak damage for your team with Bulwark. You have Arena to zone out the right clicks, but the lane is actually pretty decent for Terrorblade just because of the fact that you have meta to stay away from his spells. And so, yeah, that matchup's good. On top of that, this meta really seems to be a lot. And this is not a guarantee. We're seeing quite a few different things in this tournament, but I've seen quite a bit of 4 Protect 1. Quite a bit of these like very hard carries. A small amount of Animage, a small amount of Luna, a good amount of Terrorblade, as I said. Still, Wraith King is popping into the meta here and there. Ursa, which is actually not really a 4 Protect 1, but Spectre has gotten picked quite a bit. Morphling has gotten picked quite a bit. Void has gotten picked quite a bit. And so there is quite a bit of 4 Protect 1. Honestly, to be fair, Void isn't too much of a 4 Protect 1 hero. Neither is Ursa, which are very popular safe laners right now. So obviously, you can play Dota in various different ways. Just want to put that on the table. Next up on the list, we have Mars. If you're looking for an offlaner to play right now that you can spam for 100 games in a row and do well with 100 games in a row, Mars is that hero. Mars, in my opinion, and in the pros' opinion, very clearly, as he's been picked the most out of any hero in the tournament, Mars has been picked the most because, to be fair, people don't see Mars as like first phase ban material. They're not like, oh, we can't play against Mars. Teams just don't really fear this hero. Why? Because Mars typically doesn't like single-handedly carry games. But the thing is, he kind of does. Except it's in a different way. He's not doing all the damage. He's not necessarily tanking all the damage. He just does good at everything. Literally, Mars, I would say, is maybe the most versatile hero in Dota. His laning stage is extremely good. He has range creep secure, some of the best harass in the game with God's Rebuke. He has Bulwark, which makes him take 40% less damage at level 1. It's just good. Like, literally, I think Bulwark is maybe the most underrated spell that you can take at level 1 or 2. more so level 2 in the game. I really do believe it's mad underrated to take the spell at level 2. Then on top of that, not only does he have like just one of the most reliable laning stages in the game in the defensive aspect, when you pair him with heroes like Lion, Snapfire, Hoodwink, Enchantress, Willow, you can just kill everybody. Really, then all of a sudden he becomes a lane dominator. So he goes from just a good defensive hero, let's say you get counterpicked, they pick like Terrorblade, as I said, he pops meta, okay, you can take Bulwark and chill, right? Or you can take Spear of Mars, secure the range creep from far away. And then yeah, in team fights, he's just good. He's also one of the best pick-off heroes in Dota. For the fact that Mars Arena is a 90-second cooldown, it's much shorter than a lot of the other AoE abilities at level 1. On top of that, surprisingly, compared to a lot of other AoE ultis, it scales down. It goes from 90 at level 1 to 75 to 60 seconds in cooldown, making it scale very well as well. It also goes up in duration and spear damage. On top of that, let's say your game is really bad. You did get griefed, you had to solo lane. This is actually something Team Secret was doing to Zai for a while. They would pick up Mars, they would sack his lane, and then it doesn't matter, because you still, even with almost no items, tank more damage than almost any hero in the game because you're a high strength and a bulwark. You still have a stun, and you still have arena. You don't need items on Mars. But if you happen to have a good game and you get items, you can actually transition these items into, like, carrying the game. You can buy Deso and carry the game. If you're playing Underlord and you pop off, yeah, you can buy a bunch of auras, super useful, but you're not going to solo carry the game. It's not nearly as easy, and that's what I love about Mars. I know I ranted about him for a while now. The thing is, he has 32 games played in the pro scene right now, in this tournament alone, and we're not even close to done with it. Right, he's 32 games played, he's won 20 of them and lost 12, which is a 63% win rate, and I think that's super respectable considering he is the most played hero in the tournament. You'd expect people to sort of figure out how to counterpick him, but it's very hard to do that, and he simply rounds out drafts. It's really easy to draft around Mars. Next up on the list, to no one's surprise, is AA. This is our position 5 of the video, and yeah, he got nerfed. He did. His W is 6% worse in terms of slow and magic resist at max level, and yet it doesn't matter. And frankly, it's not surprising to me. Healing is just a big part of the game. It is. There's quite a lot of healing going on. There's actually more Holy Lockets than ever. There's Enches, Voids, Morphlings, even Mars, you know, becomes very tanky, buys a bunch of HP. Just in general, there's a lot of healing. On top of that, like, Satanic is running rampant. It's just a very common item late game. You know what hero completely nullifies all that? Yeah, okay, you guessed it, because I've been talking about it for the last 10 seconds. Actually, longer than that. It's Ancient Apparition. I don't know. It's kind of like Mars in my opinion. Like, I see AA like I see Mars. You pick it, and it's always going to do something. You compare it to a hero like Crystal Maiden, where if you fall behind as Crystal Maiden in a lot of games, sometimes it feels like you just walk around as a level 6 Maiden, you hit 6, you're like, oh great, I have my ultimate. And then you can't do anything, because you have to get like melee range to cast all your spells and die. And yes, you provide a lot more control on CM than AA, and so there is value to Crystal Maiden, and I'm sure the hero's win rate is fine in pubs. But the point is, if you are good at team synergy, which I know a lot of people are not, and a lot of people struggle with in pubs, but if you can work with your teammates, maybe you have a duo queue, 3-stack, 4-stack, okay, 4-stack's weird, 5-stack, and you could pair AA with a hero like Mars or Puck, or any sort of burst damage, you just kill people. They get eliminated. Carries can get solo killed by magical damage in the late game. It's nuts. Next up, for our mid laner on the list, I have two that I'd like to quickly talk about. Number one is TA. To be fair, the hero only has 19 games played, which, well, that's actually a decent amount. It's the 6th most picked hero, tied for 5th actually, but it only has a 53% win rate. It's only won one more game than it has lost. I just would like to say that I do believe that TA is quite good. I've said this in a couple videos. I'm not going to repeat all the points. If you want to hear them, go sub to the website and listen to my draft analysis on TA. Maybe that was on the YouTube channel. I don't even know. Just watch some of the past videos. The hero does a lot. It's a good laner. He controls Roche, gives vision, etc. So if you can get good at this hero, copy the new Dragonlance Deso build, and I think it's strong. Then we have Puck. If you guys have been watching Nigma, they play it every single game. Every game they can get it, they pick it. At least it seems to be that way. I think it's even getting banned against them now. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. And yeah, it's not really surprising. Over 19 games, it's won 12, lost 7. That's a 63% win rate. Of course, no hero in Dota that's getting picked 24/7 is going to have an 100% win rate, but 63% is really nice. It's just a good hero. It just is good. Puck is good. You know, I know I'm saying this about a lot of heroes, but I think this is why I like these heroes a lot. They're very pickable first phaseable heroes that do well. AA, Mars, and Puck all can be picked literally even in the first phase of a ranked match. You're probably thinking, oh, Speeda, I'm not playing Captain's Mode. It doesn't matter. You can pick them first phase, or more normally if they're a core, in the second phase, and you will always do well. Obviously, that's not really true. You know, of course you can have a bad game, guys. Like, you know, of course you can have a bad game, but you get the point. Coil, Silence, Orb, good laning stage, good rotations, good team fight, scales well, good early game. I mean, when is Puck bad, right? Like, TA needs an item to come online at least. Right? She needs like the Dragonlance to do something in some matchups, or a hero like Leshrac kind of needs Euls before he's like more useful, you know, or for instance, Spectre, right? He's a bad early game. You got to make sure you protect him. Even a hero like Darkseer, right? He's kind of needs some items. Usually Darkseer is a hero that spends a lot of time coming online compared to a Mars or a Puck. They're always good, right? Which is why I like them a lot. Also, Darkseer has a 36% win rate. That's kind of a feels bad man, honestly. What other hero has a bad win rate? Morphling? Oh, God. He's 6-10 with a 38% win rate. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. And last, and sadly least, is my least favorite position 4 hero to play against, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on this. That is Nyx Assassin. This hero is just, I don't know. So Nyx Assassin, you know, he's kind of like, you guys ever have that person in your life that no matter what happens, right? You could have the best day of your life. Something great happens. It's like a very positive time in your life. No matter what, they will always find some way to bring you down. Always find some way to annoy you. That's Nyx Assassin. No matter what hero you're playing, no matter what the state of the game is, like Nyx Assassin could be 20k behind, and you still will just die to him in some really random spot, in some really random way, and it's just always the case. I mean, what hero likes playing against Nyx? Right, you look at the hero pool and you're like, oh, what likes playing against Nyx? There's actually, to be fair, some examples like Lifestealer's pretty good. I think Night Stalker's pretty decent because you can silence him and stay on top of him, and you know that type of vibe. You know, I sort of think TA is pretty good against him, right? I mean, there are examples of heroes that do fit, but I even just looked at the hero list and I didn't really immediately snap to heroes that I'm like, oh yes, I enjoy playing it against Nyx. I'm not saying you lose to this hero guaranteed. It's not that broken. It has its flaws. It's an unreliable stun. Mana Burn's kind of weird in some games. Vendetta's a relatively long cooldown in the early game. It has its problems, of course. But the thing is, if you ever fall behind against Nyx, the whole map feels like Iraq. There's just a bunch of mines everywhere. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. I don't know. But the point is, you need to be really careful against Nyx. Most heroes hate playing against it. A lot of the meta heroes absolutely despise Nyx. For example, Puck, we just talked about him, hates playing against Nyx. It's not fun. Can you do it? Of course. You could silence Coil him before he gets Carapace off and burst them out. Right, great. But what if that does happen? You just get solo killed by some underfarmed position 4. On top of that, there definitely seems to be quite a bit of like strong offlaners right now. From what I've seen, even if I look at the most played offlaner list, a few that immediately pop out, we have Mars, Viper, we have Leshrac. I've seen that a bit. In general, it's definitely a meta of like pretty strong offlaners. I don't think you really like want to sack the offlane too much. I mean, to be fair, honestly, offlaners in general just seem to be good at laning. Back in the day, you'd sack them a bit more. Like, that was a while back, but that doesn't really seem to be the case too much anymore. But getting back to the point, yeah, he's just good. He currently has 15 games played, and out of any of the heroes that I've talked about, he has the highest win rate at a 73% win rate over 15 games, which is really impressive, considering that's the 8th most picked hero of the tournament. That's 11 games won, 4 games lost, an 80% win rate on Dire for whatever reason that is. I guess the one reason that could come to mind is that when you play Dire, pro teams tend to pick very greedy drafts on Dire because of how the jungle is set up. They'll pick Lunas and Gyros and TBs and things like this, TAs. And then Nyx Assassin is really good at creating space and scouting out and kind of just taking these early skirmishes. Especially, he's even really good at taking towers because you can kind of just sit in front of the tower, and if they go on you, you carapace, you know, that type of vibe. But yeah, maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Best of luck in your pubs. Just to go over the list once again, it's Mars, Puck, TA, AA, Nyx Assassin, and Terrorblade. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.